Hello, hello, hello. Do we have anyone here? Yes, we've got a few people on. Fingers crossed for smooth sailing tonight. Let's see how we go. Okay, can you hear me? Anyone here? Can you hear me? I'm right there. Should be able to hear me, I think. Yes, hi. Hi, Gidget, Cheryl, Jane, Kristen, Liz, Pam, Cindy, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, hi Sue. Sound is good. Okay, good. Hi Karen. Hi Kim. Welcome everyone. Hi Dell. Hi Catherine. Hi Denise. Yeah, I've had a busy week, Denise. High achievement. Hi Marilyn. Lorraine. Are you new here, Lorraine? Lorraine or Lorraine? Might be new. Okay. So yeah, I have had a productive week. Got a fair bit done. So I'm on a deadline though because I go away on Saturday. So got 2 weeks away without work. Hi Wanda, first time. Welcome. Hi Marilyn. I don't think I've seen you for a few weeks. Have you been on holidays? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, going away Saturday for, well, it's about 11 days, I think. Hi, Veronica. But I'm trying to be very strong and not have internet, so it might kill me. I was going to buy the internet package, and Joe said, "No, switch off. We'll manage without you." Hi, Sonia. But I'm pretty addicted. We think the kids are addicted, but I am pretty attached to my phone for business stuff and other. So we'll see how we go on port days, or whether I give in and just buy internet every now and then, just in case people are desperate to get me. Otherwise, it's all up to Jo. She's holding the fort, so she gets to make the decisions. Cheryl, is it? Oh, it's 7. Goodness me, so an hour. So you're really literally ready for the next hour. Are you right up in Townsville or just in Queensland? I'm not quite sure where you are, Cheryl. I can't remember. Where am I going, Janice? I'm cruising out of Brisbane. So I'm going to Brisbane first and then South Pacific, if the cyclone's passed. So I could end up back in Hobart. Who knows? I don't know. Molly says if we come back to Hobart, she's going home to do her washing. Hi, Lynn. Are you all prepped? You all prepared? Yeah, you're in Townsville as well, Cheryl Kerwin. Okay. All right. So with Lynn. Hi, Donna. Welcome on YouTube. No, it's a bit of a worry. I know I went through a cyclone in Townsville when we were there, but that was a long time ago. In actual fact, we slept through it. Got up the next morning and found the pergola gone, but we slept through it. So I can't say it was a really bad one. The flooding was worse, I think. So I'm thinking of you all up there in Townsville and hope you get through it unscathed. I know friends of mine from Townsville still down here for the holidays, and they fly back Saturday. So hopefully their house and dog's okay, and they'll be flying back into it if they can get in. But I know you're all used to it. I mean, you have your prep, everything done, have your cyclone boxes ready. Hi, Caroline, Solvi, and heavy rain now. Okay, yeah, it might be. I'd say it's going to be wet in Brisbane and South Pacific on the cruise, even if it's tropical rains. Hi, Rhonda, welcome. Say hello to Marilyn. She's here too, if you haven't talked to her today. Hi, Carol. So, yeah, it is a bit of a worry. We're very lucky down here. We get protected from all these extreme weather events, it seems. Hi, Laurel. All right, so we've got a fair few here. How many have we got here already? Yep, got quite a few. So if you're new here, we had a couple of newbies. You'll see down in that corner, there's a little jar with little bubbles falling down into it. Hi, Joy. So that's our lottery jar. And every time you say hello or make a comment, your face falls down into the jar and you get an entry in the lottery that we'll draw at the end for a little prize. Okay. Hi, Robin. Welcome. Are you still on holidays or back home? No rain watching the cricket. Oh, Cheryl, I don't even know where the cricket is today. Where is it? Somewhere where there should be rain? I'm not sure. Haven't seen it today. All right. Now, before Donna reminds me, my gin of choice tonight, CD. Hi, CD. I don't know who you are on YouTube, but hello. So my gin of choice today is, I emptied the bottle. So it is a favourite. Back to routine for you, Robin. Yes, back to work. Hi from Wodonga. Sue hi. Elizabeth, hello. Oh, it's in Brisbane. Okay, so it's not raining there yet. Okay, so my gin of choice tonight is from 7K Distillery, and it's the Tasmanian Raspberry Gin. I just emptied the bottle, but it is like a pink gin. It is raspberry, and I'm having it with soda and mint, which is very refreshing. Hi, Renee. For Annie's Block of the Month for Homespun Project. Already available, Renee. Poor old shed guy has been cutting 8 hours a day, almost 6 days a week for the last 2 months. So they are already available. Any orders already in have already been shipped. So if you're a shop, just message us to get your order in, or if you've got an account, you can do it online. And if you're retail, then they're all available to go on our website. I put links in last week's chat if you want to look at that. Hi, Marg. Hi, Jenny. Patterson Lakes. So, yeah, so this is my gin. So it's the 7K Raspberry Gin with some mint and soda. I'm having it, and it is very refreshing. But I did empty the bottle. So this Sunday in Hobart is January, but I'm going to be in Brisbane. So I'm missing January, so I won't be restocking my raspberry gin. I'll have to wait for another time. I don't like tonic, Laurel, so I have it with soda, and I have a soda stream, so I never run out. Okay. If Robin and Lynn were with you, you would be sharing that glass with them. I would. It'd be a third each. I know. We'd be sharing not very nicely, but that's all right. We'll share it in Harndorf in a couple of weeks. Robin tells me there's a gin distillery there we can visit. Did you give any to the band so it behaves? Well, we have a new modem that got installed last night, and it went smoothly. So tonight is the test. The test tonight to see if it makes any difference at all. And if not, then I go back to them and say, nope, you need to do better. So we'll see how we go. They did just call me just as I was going live to check if I'd got it set up okay, which is very good. But Loreni Meadowbank Pink Gin. I don't think I've tried that one, Kim. Maybe I'll try that one next time. I don't even think I've had that one. Frozen? Don't tell me I'm frozen. Already? Oh, frozen gin. Frozen tonic. Ambleside Distillery in Harndorf. Okay, looks like it's a date, Robin. Hi, Shelley. And hi, Sue. Okay, so hopefully I won't need it tonight because the new modem is going to be better. We'll see. So far, so good. Although today when I came to turn my laptop on, I couldn't get that to boot. And I thought, no, don't die on me. But anyway, lots of restarts and cursing, and we're there. We're here. All right. So I haven't got a lot to show you, but I'll demonstrate a couple of things. What have I got to show you? Okay, so what I have got, just going to put those links in there. So I did show you last week, but my heart-on cushion was finished last week. So this is the heart-on, but we were waiting for the pattern. So now the postcard pattern is printed and arrived already, and the correction is on it. That was in the spot-on one. By the way, if you've got the spot-on postcard and you haven't done it yet, there is a little mistake on the back. It says to cut the stabilizer at 21.5 and it should be 24.5. The requirements is right. So if you've got the kit or you bought the requirements, you've got plenty. I just forgot that we're grid piecing and we need the seam allowances in. But all okay. If you don't do it right, you just add another strip on the side. Hi, Melissa. Yes, I've been seeing it too. Isn't she doing well? I've never known her to stitch so much. Too much time on her hands. Okay, so the postcard pattern's ready. The templates are ready that go with the pattern. And Shed Guy interrupted his monkeys today to cut the hearts. So the fusible iron-on heart papers are ready to go. templates and the patterns are ready to go. The kits, well, they may not be exactly cut, but the spot-on kits are cut and they work the same in different colors, but the kits can be cut as they're ordered. So I'll pop that in. I'll pop that link in because in the chat, because that's ready to go. Hi, Leanne. Did that go in? It's probably going to go in 4 times now. But anyway, I'll pop that link in. So that's Heart On, good to go. We'll also have her at the Tilda event because I know a lot of you will be seeing there. And yeah, the little Heart On template there. This is the spot on one. So you'll remember the spot on one had the circle template. And I will say that my templates are green because they're just my test ones. I think the ones in the patterns are just clear because so then you can see through a little bit more easily. But yeah, so Heart On, spot on. And then you might have seen me this week, if you've been watching me on Instagram, working on 1-inch circles. Okay, so I decided to go get a bit smaller, plus I was getting something ready for the cruise. So let's switch over to overhead and see if we freeze. All right, so I have prepped, well, 144, and this one's not for the Tilda event, so it's just in scraps of low volumes and pinks, and they're 1-inch. So you might have seen me Heart On. I will have it there, not the kits, obviously, just the patterns, Robin, and then I'll have it at Tilda with the kits. But yes, it will be there, or you can order. All right, so yes, I made 144 of these. So of course, last week when I demonstrated this and I glued it on, the very first one I didn't get centered, or not centered enough for me. So I did make a template. I thought maybe I could get away with it with a smaller one. But if you're a perfectionist and you don't like it's not centered, then this is the way to go. So I'm just going to go through. I did, yes. So I'll just go through the process for those that are new. Hi, Wendy. Okay, so all of these projects are done with our EPP iron-ons. So that's our laser cut or die cut shapes from our iron-on leave-in applique paper. So we've got a shiny side and a dull side, and you can sort of feel it as well. It's like slippery and smooth, or it's rough. So we just fuse that on just with a hot dry iron. Then we use our beautiful Karen K Buckley scissors to easily, quickly cut it out with about a generous 1/8 of an inch or a small 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'll just find my black mat because you might be able to see me better on my black mat. All right. So if you watched my little, hi Chris, if you watched my little live during the week, you would have seen me doing 1/4 inch circles. But for the 1-inch, I just glue about half. And I'll just zoom in a little bit closer for this bit. Okay, so I've just glued about half, particularly under these lights because it's really steamy under these lights. And then I just use my thumbnail. It just feeds around the edge of the paper and push it down into that glue with my thumbnail. Or, of course, we can use our applique tools or our Poor Man's applique tools from Hugs and Kisses. All right, so now I've glued my edges over and I've got a perfect circle. Then the next step, and I did this all just sitting on the lounge watching, what did I watch this week? The Boy Who Swallowed the World. Has everyone watched that? It's very good. And a few other things. The universe, not the world. He swallowed the universe. Hi, Rhonda, a bit late to the party. That's okay. Okay, so then I get my background. I'm sure I got a piece. Okay, so I've cut these at 2 inches square because I'm going to be using this fusible grid product. So I'm going to fuse them all on at 2 inches. I do have a 2.5 inch square one too, which would be perfect if you've got mini charms or pre-cuts, or if you're cutting up Boy Swallows Universe, not the world, that's right. if you're cutting up jelly rolls or charm packs or layer cakes, they all divide into 2.5. So you can do it on 2.5 as well. But I've cut mine all at 2 inches. So remember with the cushion, we fused these all on first, and then I positioned the heart or the circle and did it by machine, and then quilted through it afterwards. Because I wanted these to do on the cruise, so I've got some stitching to do on the cruise by hand, I've actually positioned and glued all my dots on first, and I'm going to hand applique them all on while I'm away, and then I'm going to fuse it to the grid and mark my quilting, and then I'll quilt it afterwards. I don't think I'll quilt around these because I prefer to put the batting on first, so I always put the Helen on first, and then grid, and then quilt through that, so you get more of a quilting look, basically, to get a little padded. No, I won't have the grid in Handorf because it's Patchwork by Seas event, so so I'm not bringing. I'm only bringing patterns. I'm not bringing kits, or they'll have all that sort of stuff. I don't know if they will have grid, but I am bringing some of my stabilizer. Hi, Susie Mac. My stabilizer, because I can wholesale that, and you can use that spot I use for the spot on and the heart on, and what I use behind all my stitcheries. So I am bringing some packs of stabilizer, but I'm just not bringing the printed grid because we don't wholesale that. But hold that thought, because I am investigating something. All right, so that's the two ways you can do this grid interfacing. You can fuse it all on and piece it first and then do your applique, or you can do your individual squares first and then fuse it on and then grid piece it. All right, so here comes my template. So this template, because I might use 2.5 inch squares, so 1 inch circles look all right on a 1.5 inch finish, so it's just going to have 1/4 inch seam allowance, or on a 2 inch finish, so that would be the finish size. So I wanted the template to be multi-usable, so I've actually made it 2.5 inches square, and then I've put my 2 inch finish line and my 1.5 finish line on there. Okay, so you can use it on either 2.5 inch squares or 2 inch squares. I could go even bigger and have a 3 inch one as well and have like a complete multi-size, but a little tiny circle in a bigger square is not going to look as good. So whereas the 3 inch square I had here has got the 2 inch circle, so it looks more balanced in the size. So I can't really do a multi-size with one size circle in the middle of it. So all I do then is put my template on top of my square, and this is where it's good if you weren't completely accurate, because I was just stack cutting from scraps. So I was just layering up like 6-8 layers of scraps and then just roughly cutting out 2 inch squares. So they're not 100% accurate, but that's okay because my grid piecing is going to make it accurate. So I sit it on top, and so I've got that 2 inch line engraved on there. So I've just lined it up that my 2 inch is even with the outside of it, and if I had a 2.5 inch square, then the whole thing would be covered. And then again, I did this all on my lap the other night, 144 of them. So then I just put a little dot of my Roxanne's basting glue there, put my dot in between, lifted it off, ironed it dry, so it was set. Did it quickly because I was ironing on my lap. I was a bit naughty, couldn't find my ironing board. And there's my circle. And so within 40 minutes or even less, I had all of these prepped and glued down, pasted down to stitched on the cruise. So that is my mini spot on template. That one's not on the website yet because the project's not done, and the rulers aren't cut and the rules aren't ready, and poor old shed guy's too busy cutting monkeys and elephants to be worried about this yet, because this will be ready for AQC. Wanda, what did you say? I've been using applique paper, doing well with it, but I'm having trouble with turning an angled point on a triangle. Is there a trick or a tip? So I don't have a triangle here, I don't think, but I have a honeycomb. So I just fold over both directions, and if the tail pokes out, don't worry about it. You can deal with that when you're stitching it down. If it's a nice angle like this and the tail is poking out, you can just put a bit of glue on there and glue it back down afterwards. Some people, have I got anything here in front of me to show you? Oh, I've got all curved shapes. I've got no triangle shapes in applique paper here to show you. But what some people are known to do on a triangle, but I don't like it, hi Judy, is they will actually glue over the tip like that first, and then fold that way, and then fold that way. But I find it's not too bad on a honeycomb, and it might not be too bad on a triangle, but I find you don't get a really sharp point. You just get a little bit of a curved point there. That's not too bad on that shape. It depends on your point. So I just go one way and then the other, and then make sure that if my tail is poking out, we deal with that when we stitch it down. Okay. Yes, I think it will, Donna. I mean, I'm not into having tools for absolutely everything, but sometimes they help. They help with accuracy and peace of mind. So yes. I've got some very fine points on bird beaks. Yeah, they can get really quite tricky. I'm demonstrating some leaves tonight in a minute with some sharp points, some really fine points. So I'll try and show you a few hints and tips on that. Okay, so that was the circles and the mini spot on, and that's my work for the cruise. And in between quiz shows and swimming and whatever else, that might be all I get done. We'll see. And I am meant to read a book as well, because I've saved my annual book reading for the cruise. All right, so with my Easy EPP packs, let's zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so I've glued up my next apron, or next two aprons actually. Okay, and I've glue basted them all down, and I've stitched most of these leaves. I've just saved a few to demonstrate tonight because Gidget asked me last night if I would demonstrate these. Let me just get out of there. So I'm just going to, so these are those leaves, Wanda, with the very sharp points, and you can see that I've glued one side and then the other, and I've got a tail sticking out there. So I'm just going to go through stitching that and show you how I deal with those tails and still get the sharp point. Just hold a minute, I'm just going to shut the door. Sorry, they forget that I'm live and like to feature. You did 22 quarter-inch circles. Oh, Gidget, well done. You must have been an expert by the end, or cursing me. I will say with the little tiny circles, so the quarter-inch, sometimes even half-inch, but no, normally quarter-inch, what I do is I have 2 layers of paper, and if you've got 2 layers of paper, it's a little bit stronger that you can really push those edges over and it doesn't roll the paper and keeps its shape. You can also, with 2 layers of paper, do a little gathering stitch around the edge outside of the seam allowance and gather it in over the paper. So you can use that method if your thumb's not working on those. But you can see my little quarter-inch ones here. I got quite soft. I got quite, they came together really quickly. This is the Tilda Chambray, and as much as it's really nice and it's really expensive, gee, it folds nicely. It glues and folds nicely over applique paper. It's just the weight of it folds beautifully. So there's that one. All right, so now I actually don't have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, I'll cut sort of a leaf shape out of this and just give you a few tips. All right, should have got a bit of fabric here. Yes, here's a bit of fabric. So I'm going to fuse that on. And then cut it out with quite a small seam allowance. And then the only tip I can give you with points is that you can take the tip off. So you still need the seam allowance between there and there. Okay, but you can take that tip off there. And that just gets rid of a bit of the bulk of the fabric that you have to tuck under with that tail. Okay, so then I've got sort of a bit of an inner curve there. Not really, I probably don't need to, but an inner curve, I'll do a little snip. Debbie, yes, you can order them on the website. They're ready to go. So yes, and I can give you those before the 1st of Feb, although I'm there after Feb anyway. Yes, that's hi, Anne. What else have I missed? Something there about papers. Found them too late for the Secret Garden project. Yeah, well, you'll know now. Okay, so I've taken the tips off to get rid of some of the bulk, and I've just done a snip into the inner curve, but not all the way to the paper. I've stopped a few threads short of the paper. Do we need to go closer? Sorry, I can't do my Zoom and see your comments at the same time. Where am I? Here I am. Now I have to stay on camera. Susie, yes, the papers stay in. So these papers, the Hugs and Kisses EPP iron-ons, stay in. So they're iron-on, leave-in, and when you wash them, they semi-dissolve and they just stay in there as a soft fibre. So they make things far easier. All right, so I'm going to glue up my first side. So on this sort of curve, I can just use the flat of my thumb and do it quite quickly. Okay, and then on the second side, I need to make sure my glue goes right on the edge, all the way to the edge on the top of that fabric. And you've got to make sure that you follow the curve of that paper and fold all the way to there. Because you can't really feel it, what a lot of people do is they just go like that and they have a big raw point there. Okay, big raw fuzzy point. Can you see that? It's not folded and not a folded point. So you've got to watch that curve and make sure you fold 2 layers of fabric so that the point is a double folded fabric with a tail sticking out. Okay, can you see that? So we have got no raw thread at that point. The raw thread's all out here. And then same goes when you get to the other end. You have to make sure you follow that curve all the way and then fold on the fabric. So now you can see with this sharp point that I had like your bird beak, I've got quite a big tail sticking out there, but you can't cut it off. If you cut it off, you're just going to fray out the fabric and lose it. Basically, it's just going to be a big mess. You're going to have all raw threads. Yes, Marilyn, I'm holding my breath, but so far so good. So far so good. All right. So back to our apron that I've got glued down. I'm going to, I must have a needle here somewhere. Have I got a threaded needle? Somewhere I must have a threaded needle, surely. As in an applique needle. They're all stitchery. Where's the one I had last night? Maybe I've got one here. You know, if I'm looking for a stitchery needle, I can only find applique and vice versa. All right, maybe I've got some here. Stitchery, stitchery. Oh, you're kidding me. I need an applique needle. Did I put some in here? No. All right. Well, we're just going to have to... But honestly, I can't do it without an applique needle. Did I leave it in here? Or is it sitting in the chair of my lounge, maybe? All right. Okay. Well, that's a disaster. All right. We'll have to use a stitchery needle. But not ideal. We should have an applique needle. And some blending thread. It's got itself jammed. Okay. by thread. Hello to Mum if you're watching. Yeah, they do. They do, Denise. You'd think that I'd have a million. Yeah, I'm just using a normal one, Leanne, because the finer it is, the easier it goes through the denim. So yeah, no, it's going through. And these aprons are really quite soft. My thread case, this one, yeah, that's a product that we make. So it's called a thread holder, I think. I can get the link later. And it comes with all the wooden bits, and you just put the cover on it and sew it up, and you can get it personalized if you want to. So yes, there is a kit for that. Little laser blanks. Normal applique needle for denim. And what was the other question? The difference between applique and, okay, so the applique needles, Gidget, are finer. They still have a long eye, but they're nice and fine, so they go through the edge of your applique fabric really nicely. And because we're just using a really fine thread, but they're sharp, they're not too long, so they don't bend too easily, and they have a nice long eye so that you can thread them easily. And if I had one here, I'd show you. I can compare the difference. Oh, I can't believe I don't have one. It's usually the stitchery I have, and I can't find the applique. What's this one here? No, that's a pin. All right. Anyway, we won't stop there. I'll find it in my lounge later. So, stitching down. I have to make sure I stay on camera. So I start at a point. So at the very point there. And then I come up and go through the very point again. And this is where if I had an applique needle, it would go through much easier than this big crowbar. Right, so I've locked that point down. Then I take the tip of my needle and I sweep that tail in underneath. My battery is running low. Shouldn't be. I'm plugged in. Now that would be my next disaster, wouldn't it? So I've tucked it in. Let me just check I'm plugged in, because otherwise we're going to turn off. Give me 1 sec. Oops, that should be right now. That could have been the next disaster. Yeah, I know, Anne. I'm sure it's there. And when I have a soft couch, so sometimes they go right down in it too. Okay, so I've locked it down. I've tucked my thread, my tail under, and then I come up and take my next stitch. And now because I've got a big needle, I just unthreaded it. Right. So now I'm locking that tail in underneath. Then I do my applique stitch right along. This will remind me to get a whole pack to take on the cruise with me, because imagine if I was out at sea with thread and no needle. It would be a disaster. Okay, now when you're getting to the other end, you've got two options. You can either sweep that under first, like this, and then stitch up to the point, or you can flip it in the other direction. It just flips underneath like that. So for this one, I'll flip it. And I still have a double folded point there, so I want to get that needle right in the point. Then I'm going to turn around. Still on camera, yeah, and do another stitch back up into that point. So I've locked that point down, and just give it a little tug to tighten it out. And then sweep this tail under. Give it a tug to get your point out tight again because it might have just curled it under. And then start stitching in the new direction. Gosh, the needle makes such a huge difference. This feels so uncomfortable and clunky. And I must say, under these lights, I didn't realise how humid it was, which I better get used to because it's going to be nice and humid in the South Pacific. All right, and I'm back to the start, through the back, and knot off. Because it's such a fine thread and I'm not having a backing on this, I give it a good 3 knots to make sure it's secure. And that's my leaf stitched down with its 2 pointy points. Okay, so that's pretty much how that works. I'll show you the aprons in a minute. While I've got the overhead camera on, I just thought I'd show you a heart for the heart on, how to glue the heart and the inner point. Yes, use the right needle. And trimming too hard at the point. Yeah, if you still got to have that at least that 1/8 of an inch seam allowance from the point down, otherwise it's just going to fray out and you're just getting a huge big mess. So you've got to still have at least that. You just can't trim it off. It doesn't work that way. I'm just looking for, lost my cat of my glue. I'll find that in a minute. As long as the dog hasn't pinched it. Okay, so I was just going to show you the heart that we used in the heart on, and other things as well. The gluing of the heart. So with the heart, I said before that we clip inner curves, but not all the way to the paper. When we've got an inner point, we have to clip all the way to the paper. It's the only way to get a sharp inner point, and that means that you might get one raw thread there at the center of that. So for the heart, I glue about that much, and then just with your nail, just get that in as tight as you can at that point. If you're using applique tools, you can really pull it over with that flat bevel and pull over that raw thread. Okay, go down the straight side and it's pretty quick. This one we're gluing on the fabric and getting our double folded point. So we've got no raw threads there. Come back to the curve, do our pinch and gather. Glue back to the start, and then when we get into there, just pull that over as much as you can so that your raw thread is almost to the back. Well, we want to sort of try and get it to the back. So if you're using applique tools for that one, you just get that beveled edge and you just really pull that over where you didn't cut all, well, you did cut all the way to the paper, but you just want to get at least that one raw thread over onto the back onto the glue, and that's your heart. Okay, if you've got a little bit of a tail poking out there, you can just glue that back if you're going to do it by machine. And there's your heart, perfectly to go. All right, so that's our demos for tonight. Let's switch back over. Hello. Oh, gosh, I did it twice. It's too quick for it. Here we are. So we are back. All right, so do you want to see the whole apron? So I've had 3 to do. Won't be a surprise now you're going to tilt it, but this was the first one that I finished. I showed you already. So there was that one. Remember that one I just free motion sort of embroidered or quilted the stems just with some Presentia 16 weight pearl thread. Okay. Oh, did we freeze? Oh, don't tell me we froze. Oh, oh no. Okay, I thought we were good. Are we back now? All right, clearly it needs gin. Oh, and the dog wants to come in now. Come on, quick, on your bed. Good boy, hop in your bed. All right, are we back? Yes, we're all back. Well, that doesn't make me very happy. So this one, it's going to look a bit funny because I haven't glued it. I haven't sewn it down yet. So that one's just glued up. So I think that was easy at pack 9 maybe. So that's little daisies all in a row, and I had an extra one, so that's going up the top. And you might notice that I'm missing 2 leaves. So, well, see, only a few people froze, so maybe it wasn't me at this end this time. I don't know. I'm going to be hopeful. And then this one, and they're all easy app. They're all easy app packs. So, oh, I can tell you what number they were. So that one was number 8, the daisies in a row. And then this one is number 2. And this one, hold on, we're eating something you shouldn't be eating. What have you got, buddy? What have you got? Oh, well, you can get sick on that one. This one, there are definitely daisies in a row. Okay, so I've got to do some stems on that one as well, but there's a fair bit of stitching on that. I did stitch the small circles last night, and the rest I'm going to just raw edge by machine, get it done quickly because I've got lots to do, running out of time. So yes, that's a peek at that till I get them finished. Just set hand sewing the photos, can you machine embroider them down? Yes, I am going to be, Judy. I definitely am. I mean, I could. It's nice to sit there and applique them all down by hand, but I've got lots to do in a very short amount of time. So I'll do my mini circles, my mini spot-ons on the cruise by hand, and I'll quickly, now that they're all glued up and folded and turned and all in position, and I did stitch down the center circles just to hold everything in place. The leaves I'm doing by hand because they've got those really sharp points with tails, so I can get sharper points by hand than I can of gluing them back by machine. But the rest, yeah, be my machine. And we'll never know. So this one was all done by machine. And you really, I mean, if I can see here that I can see that I've got an edge stitch, so I've quilted it. So I just dropped my feed dogs and got an invisible thread, and I've just free motion like raw edge applique, except that my edges are turned. Hi, Joe. Welcome. We're just about done. Yeah. So one more thing I had to show you. I did finish last week. I know I showed you last week, but I did finish it. Is my binding on my charmed X and O's, noughts and crosses. So she's all done. All done. And if you remember, if you were here last week, this is the little bonus project with the leftovers, the bits that you cut off. So that's in the next Simply Charmed package. I'll stick the link in for that if you need to, if you want to sign up for that, because it's the best value is to be part of the club and get the free shipping and the free pattern. Here's your best value for Simply Charmed. I'll put the link in for the easy app packs and the hearts. What else have I got there? Oh, I'm putting the link in for Loves Me, Loves Me Not. I showed you last week the Tilda Flower Garden quilt. I think I showed you. So that's all, patterns all done. It's on the website and the kits are being cut. So that one's ready to go too, but will be also at the Tilda event. It won't be in Handorf. And then just the last link I'm putting in there because I shared some Aussie sayings today on Instagram and Facebook, which I'm getting lots of suggestions, but they were from my Truly Aussie quilt. So I'm just putting the link in here because everyone's asking where they can get it, and I haven't got the Truly Aussie quilt home to show you, but I have scheduled a whole heap of posts over the next few days. I had to pre-schedule posts while I was away without my internet, so I'm just putting the link for that in there as well for you. That's probably about it. So I won't see you next week, and I may see you the week after I get back that day. So if I'm feeling up to it, we might pop in. And then the week after that, I'm in Adelaide. The link needs fixing. Truly Aussie link is wrong. Oh, it is too. All right, I'll have to put that in afterwards. Oops, it goes to the hearts. All right, I will sort that out later. Though I did put the Truly Aussie link on the Instagram post and on the Facebook post in the comments too. So if you're looking for it for that, it's in there. There's some great sayings, and there was one that I haven't heard and I couldn't work out. Let's see if I didn't want to show my ignorance, but Eric Pearce late news. Someone explain that to me. It's an Aussie slang saying, Eric Pearce late news. Might have to tell me on that one. There was a few other, must be Victorian, someone said. Okay. There's a couple of others I hadn't heard, but most of them are in the quilt or I've heard of before. Having a London tower. I guess that's having a shower. 3 container on the website. I will find a link and put that in the comments after we finish off for you. So there you go. I'll do that. Old news reader in Melbourne. Okay. So what did it say? Eric Pearce. Late news. Okay. Yeah, it must be a Victorian one because I didn't know that one. And the only other one, I bet London to a brick. That must be a really old, like English one. And having a London tower, I assume, is having a shower. Anyway, so there's some great ones. So that was really good. All right, we best draw our winner before we forget. No Fiona tonight. I've missed Fiona tonight. She must be working, putting the residents to bed like a good carer that she is. And no Steph tonight. Okay, so Steph's recovering from knee surgery, but she's not here. All right, let's draw a winner. Let's see if I can see it. I don't get in, and I live in Victoria. You don't get it? No, okay. News reporter who presented the late news Victoria. Okay, so let's draw the winner. Did it work? Oh, I can't read that tonight. Let's get rid of this. Isabel? Does that say Isabel Leonard? Can anyone read that? I think that's Isabel. Are you still here? Are you still with us, Isabel? Need to be here to get your prize. Need to have hung in there. Okay, so it seems that when my laptop died, it didn't actually shut down the live, and someone's just messaged me and said it was still going. So I've just come back on. Everything's switched off. My internet was switched off and everything, so I don't know why it's still going, and I hope I hope you haven't heard me say that much. Anyway, so I'm going to end it now, and then I'm going to go in and see if I can edit this video and get rid of all the rest of it on it. Okay, so gosh, there's even still 9 people here watching. So I hope you had a lovely time watching a blank screen, because the laptop was turned off, so there was no cameras. Okay, bye for now.